We're here for episode 2 of the Coach's Corner in 2017. With me is head coach Steve Antonelli for Richmond Residential. Steve, another good win for the ISP team last week in what weren't ideal conditions. How important was it to get a good completion rate, and was that better than what you expected?
Oh, probably not better than what I expected, because the first 2 rounds were up around 80%. So in that type of weather it was good, but I thought it was something that we need to be good at to keep us into the game. And we were around 72%, and it's an old cliche about holding the ball and you win games, and that's what ended up happening.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of talk in the paper this week about the Big Four. For Mounties, who's been the big one for you? Who's been your standout so far this year?
Probably, as you know, Mick, I'm not a big fan for standouts, especially the team I got this year. It's more about, as a group, but probably the bloke who's probably sparked us a lot coming off the bench is Sammy Duggan. I thought as a Mounties boy, he's been very good for us, as he was last year, filling a number of spots. So I think coming off that bench, he's given us a little bit of spark this year. So probably Duggan's been probably real good for us.
Okay. And so over the last couple of weeks, we've been getting a few more boys back from the Raiders, and as their injuries and suspensions have gone over, that's improved for them and sent blokes back to us. Does that make your job easier or harder?
No, it makes my job a lot harder, Mickey. You know that, just through the process of pushing blokes back from Massey in the Shield, and it's sort of a bit of a headache, but it's a good headache to have. And this year we have a lot of depth, right through the club, so it's a bit of pressure on the ones down the bottom to perform, you know what I mean, to make sure they're playing their best footy to hold their spot. I think that's a good thing, it's with the club, keep us strong in our depth, and moving forward, hopefully we can stay like that.
Okay. And with that in mind, with the point systems being in place for Massey Cup and Sydney Shield, how hard is it each week to put 3 squads together, given all of those factors?
I think last week, I reckon it took us nearly an hour to do the 3 teams. I don't have any trouble. I'm pretty lucky I don't have a point system where Massey and Shield do. So it's, like I said, it's a matter of juggling the points around, but it's more so players putting themselves in their position anyway with their performances. If you're playing good footy, we've got to find a spot for you and work things out. But like I said, there's a lot of pressure on the younger ones, and the low pointers are like gold, and the high pointers are going to play like high pointers, like with their cup players and that. So just moving forward for the club, we're in a good position. It's good to have a headache like that.
And looking forward to this week, another tough game against the Bears. With South Sydney having their problems with suspensions and injuries, are they likely to lose some players?
I think they might lose 1 or 2, but I think they're the same as us. They're very strong in their depth. We always have a tough battle, as you know, against the Bears. It's always a bit of a rivalry between us and Mounties, and I think this week will be no different. They're 3 from 3, same as us, so it's going to be a strong, tough battle, especially if it's going to be wet as well. They'll probably lose 1 or 2, but nothing that'll weaken their side.
So what is it that you've been looking for this week to identify where we can beat them?
I don't know worrying too much about them. It's probably more about us again, like the completion rate in the wet weather and getting our things right, and worrying about where we need to be good more so than worrying about how good they are. So that's something that I've been drilling with our boys this week, just about being good at all the little things that get us into the game. So I'm looking forward to the contest. We're always very physical against the Bears, typical South sort of game, so it'll be a tough battle.
Okay, well that's another wrap for Coach's Corner for this week. Thanks to Steve Antonelli, and thanks to Richmond Residential.